Hello, 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 everybody, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and of course, good night. My name is Shroda Aglago. Thank you for tuning in to Love, Forgive, Live. I hope everybody had a great weekend and enjoying the nice weather. And I just found out, of course, some parts of the world, their winter is starting. It's the beginning of winter. We are enjoying spring and eventually summer, and then others are enjoying winter. So let us know how the weather is going there and how everybody's faring. Once again, any of you who want to reach me or write to us and let us know a topic that you would like us to cover, or you're curious about something, or something that I've talked about and you want to ask some questions, always I'm open to discuss and learn and grow. So of course the email address is love, L-U-V, the number 4, give, G-I-V-E, live, L-I-V-E, at gmail.com. Once again, I said my name is Shroda Aglago. Let's get to it. Today's topic is about presence. P-R-E-N sorry P-R-E-S-E-N-T. Gosh, my brain went a little somewhere. Once again, P-R-E-S-E-N-T, present. To be present. Now, to speak about presence, I can't talk about presence without talking about now. I hear this often where people are worried about, oh, my past was so awful, my past was this, my past was that. And then I hear people worried about their future. And it's amazing. You either keep your mind on the past and forget that you're in the present, so you're not able to see what is present in front of you, or you worry about the future and still not see what is in front of you and where you are at this moment, at this time, and what you're doing, because you're preoccupied with the future. Here's why this is not healthy, or where that really doesn't help us. It doesn't help any human being. Others may tell you, oh, it's better for me. I don't know about you, but in my profession, I recognize that it doesn't help. It might rather makes people anxious, tense, worried, rigid, and sometimes unforgiving. I think time is precious, even though I use that term loosely. But time is precious in the sense that it's a gift to us. It's a present to us. So every moment we have that we are still breathing, we are still doing things, we need to learn to be grateful in the moment, within the space that we are in. The time now, as it's unfolding itself, is what is the most important thing. I think the more we grow in the present and become fully invested and aware of what we are experiencing and what we are going through and how that is impacting us at that moment, I think it's a very poignant thing. It's important and impactful because it creates an experience that leaves an indelible mark on ourselves, on our mind, on our hearts. But the moment we become preoccupied with the past and the future, we lose that gift the present was supposed to give to us in the first place. Being present is not about putting our head in the sand. It's rather choosing to see what is good within the moment. When you're present, every opportunity you get is within the experience you're experiencing at that moment. When you become open to it, you will receive it as it is. You begin to notice that it is what it is because you did not create it. It just unfolded and you happened to be there and just added your own perception to it and grew with it or grow with it or become more of yourself within that moment. The moment you do that, there's something beautiful that happens. You will notice that you become more relaxed, you smile more, and you begin to notice the gifts that that particular experience and time is giving you. Then you notice the lessons, the joys, the gifts, and of course, if it's somebody's involved, other people involved, you enjoy the company and that memory that it creates on you. Take that and run with it and be grateful. Gratitude is also another powerful thing. I've talked about gratitude before. Gratitude can only happen in the present. You cannot be having gratitude. Oh yeah, yesterday they said you're grateful for today. Now, what are you grateful for? It all comes to presence. That's how you become. Somebody asked me one day, how do you become happy? And I remember telling the individual, that's interesting, because happiness, in my perception, is a choice and it's a state of being. It's not what you become, it's a state of being. And in order to be able to grasp this space and time continuum of being, you have to allow yourself to be. Nobody can create that for you. Nobody can make you become present. Nobody can make you be that. It's up to you. Whatever misery you may think you're experiencing, whatever anguish you think it's going through, you have to make the choice to be present. Because guess what? If you're not present and it's gone, you end up having regrets, saying, I can't believe I wasted that time. I should have. Regret follows you, and guilt begin to become your story. When you focus on the future and present is in front of you, and you're there, present, but not paying attention to it, not noticing it, and even seeing it, that is something beautiful that is happening at that moment. You have lost sight of what is important and what makes you you. You lose sight of that. You become engrossed into something that is not even real. Because if you become preoccupied with the future, it's not even here. That's the thing. You're not even sure if you will see that future. You are not even sure if you will become a part of that future. So that's not guaranteed. That's speculation. So truly, you can choose. Write this down. One column is the past. The middle one is the present, and the last one on the right is the future. and write down what you know for sure about the past. And things that you'll be writing, I promise you, you will begin to notice it didn't matter. It might have been painful, but it's not happening now. And it's already gone. So making a decision to let it go and be present and not give your present. Here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. Don't give your present to your past that didn't deserve you and didn't deserve the things that happened to you in the past. So why would you give your present to something that did not serve you, did not give you anything you needed, but rather a lesson that you learn to go through life, so next time that mistake or that experience, that painful experience is coming to you, you spot it right away and be like, I've learned that lesson, it's not coming back again. That's all it is. But why would you give your present to that? Understand, when you do that, you're recreating what the past was and allowing it to take control of your present, and literally giving your present away and then standing empty-handed. And yet you keep believing, oh, now I need to move on to the future, when you haven't even enjoyed or noticed being present, being the happy person you should be, being the joyful person you should be, being the peaceful person you should be, and being the forgiving person you should be in the present. Throw it all out the window. And if someone asks you, sometimes some people don't even realize what they're doing in the present because they lost sight of it. And in losing sight of something like that, I think it's painful. When you practice being present, the world begins to look a little different, in the sense that every experience you feel, it feels good. You actually feel and experience everything as it is happening. The excitement, the joy, the deliciousness, the smell, the touch, and the sounds becomes real. You become a part of that. In the present, you will begin to pay attention and then become aware of two very important emotions. Actually, backtrack. You become aware that there are only two emotions that are always happening. Try it as you may. Number one is the emotion of love. And here's what I'll tell you about love. This is according to the Course in Miracles. Love is changeless, but continually exchanged. Being offered by the eternal to the eternal. In this exchange, it is extended, for it increases as it is given. That's love. The first emotion, the emotion of love. Wouldn't you have that be in the present and feel that and understand that as you're continually giving love, you're growing in love, you're feeling love and being loved? Doesn't that make more sense to you? Wouldn't you receive that more rather than staying in the second emotion, which is fear? So there's always two. You're either one or the other. And the emotion of fear does this. Okay? Fear has many forms. for the content of individual illusions differs greatly, yet they have one thing in common. They are all insane. For fear is meaningless and meaningful to their maker. The one that creates the fear is the only one, or is feeling it, is the only one that gives it value. And in doing so, you realize that there is no meaning to it. It's meaningless, even though the Creator makes it meaningful. So those are the two fears, or the two emotions that you're operating. You're either operating an emotion of love or an emotion of fear. Love is changeless. Fear is always changing form. Surprise. Which one would you much rather have? Because when your attention is focused on the past, it always creates fear. When it's focused on the future, it will always create fear and uncertainty. So why not choose the one that gives you peace, joy, rested assurance, and be calm, knowing that it is well, because you are simply just being, and being present would always make you feel good, would always make you, because every experience that comes to you feels almost like new and something to experience. And in doing so, you give yourself the chance to grow, the chance to become more than what you could ever imagine, and the chance to learn to work within the present and not worry about what hasn't even come yet, like the future. And here's the other thing. If you're not able to see in the present and be in the present and be grateful, seize the moment and be present, you will constantly allow the past to disrupt presence, to dismantle present, to create discord in present. I don't know about you. However, discourse in any situation is not cool. It's not worth it. So in the present, you become alive to choose what will make you feel good, so you can understand that each and every time you take a step in the present, it creates a powerful emotion, that love and the joy and the peace, and trusting that it is well. I give you this biblical quote, and this comes from Philippians chapter 4, verse, I believe, verse 5 to 7. And here's this. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known or made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding shall keep your heart and minds through Christ Jesus. It's something, isn't it? Worry about nothing. And just take the time to either pray, meditate, be present. Because it's only through that can you harness your peace, your joy. And without that, it's chaos. You cannot settle. I don't know about you, but why would I choose fear over love? That's the question. What will make you choose fear over love? Could it be that fear is known and it's something that if it's known by the beholder begins to believe is truth? So then it becomes a tool to stay within a space of feeling you don't know. Because with love, especially if you've never experienced, even though everyone has love, and it's love, but if the individual has never truly become aware of it, they may not know. They may be afraid of love and want to choose fear. Because at least with the fear, they know what it is. They know how it feels like. They know how to describe it and have it. With love, they don't know. They have no clue. It's important, I think, for us to become fully aware of how we prevent ourselves from experiencing the joys of life. You know, being present is not just something that is being talked about and just tossed around and all that. Being present allows you to also to tap into your own potential. Because you begin to learn something about yourself. And once you learn it, you're unstoppable. You cannot unlearn it. Because everything in this world, as soon as you learn it, unlearning it or discarding the learning is impossible. It's already there. Because once you're present, it's a complete game changer. You actually go out and enjoy yourself. And know that it is well because you're present. Worry about nothing. Leave the past to deal with its own self. Leave the future. It hasn't come yet. But the present, oh boy, this is where the fun is. This is where you become deliberately a seeker of joy, a seeker of fun, a seeker of peace, a seeker of happiness. So it is important to become fully aware of what presence can do. And being present, one other thing I've noticed is you begin to learn more. You become meticulous about everything. Very attentive about everyone. This is one thing I want to talk about. In the present, that's where you begin to see why forgiveness is important for you anyways. In the present, you find a way to connect with your neighbor, with whatever you're doing. Because once you're connected, experiencing life becomes joyful, becomes exciting. I am excited daily. I literally wake up in the morning and I'm being grateful and writing. So understand this. Once you start writing down what you're grateful for, it brings you right into the present. It does not allow you to escape or run from present. That's something that you cannot do. But those who have been able to do it and escape present, please let me know how you did it. You know, one of the things I became aware of was, I remember in my high school days and then also in my early college years, I was start envisioning myself done with the school and doing something else. And I remember I was excited thinking about what I'm going to do when things get through. You begin to also recognize something. In my high school time, I remember, like I said, I would dream and look ahead and say, I can't wait when I'm done. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. What it did for me was it kept me from paying attention to present. And so when the time came for the things that I wish I could have done, I don't remember how I got there. I don't even remember where it's going. But recognizing that, I needed to just be calm, but I couldn't. In my mind, I thought I was being calm by looking ahead and trying to jump around and also talk about my past so much and it was like this, what like this. It was draining. But then once I took the time to learn more, that was not the right thing, I started recognizing something. That in the present, I had missed a lot of things in the past because I thought I knew what I was doing and I was going about it. But once I saw where things can be and where I am, it was a game changer. But it's rather important for me to stay within the present and grow. And for the life of me, I remember in my younger days in the high school and college, I was always in a hurry. I couldn't wait for things to be done. And I look forward to it. But then one thing I also recognized was I started being disappointed. I started not receiving what I thought I would receive because I was too busy thinking about the past, the future, and wanting to plan for it, wanting to go for it, wanting to do this. And I recognized that I missed out on some of the best part of growing up. Taking the time to be a teen. Taking the time to be silly. Couldn't do that. you know. And once that happened, I recognized something, that I was good at escaping presence. But another thing I wanted to discuss is this. When you keep your focus on the past or in the future, be careful for the ditches that are in front of you. You may fall into the ditch because you're too busy looking up and too busy looking back. Because as you look back, you never see the ditch until you fall into it. As you look forward and looking up, you fall into the ditch. And when you fall into the ditch, if an individual falls into the ditch, it becomes painful, extremely painful, because it shocks you to understand that you did not do the mistake of getting to the ditch, but you're there. And you couldn't see it in front of you because, like I said, you're looking back and looking up. You don't see in front of you. And when you don't see in front of you, you fall into the ditch. The pain that comes with it, you will get angry. And when you get angry, you want to lash out at everybody. Henceforth, that's how individuals get lost and lose track of present, lose track of now, lose track of the situations that they've dealt with, and it was meant to teach them a lesson. So choose to focus on present, because as you do, your mind will thank you, your body will thank you, and your life will thank you, because you will begin to do the things that makes you happy in the present. And in the present, you have joy. You have joy, and a great way for you to feel alive. You want excitement, you want joy, you want happiness, you want everything that comes with that. Practice being present. Practice being the one that when the children come in from the cold, they can see that during that moment somebody's there, and the person is just to be themselves. Because in the present, you become truthfully the one you want to be. And once you discover that, I'm telling you, you're unstoppable. Because you will be focusing more on what to do for things to be as they should. Not what was or what is coming, but as they should for the moment, for based on what you know and how you're doing and where you're going. Presence. Practice being present. Because as you are, you will learn more being present. Not to mention growth. So my brothers and sisters out there, Grow within the present and allow yourself to feel, to see, to laugh, to have joy, and touch, smell, and even taste. Because in the presence, you discover that you may be stronger than you ever thought. You discover your talent. You discover your joy. You discover something beautiful about yourself. You laugh more in the present. You have more joy in the present. This gives you a chance to see how powerful presence is. And presence will give you more than you could ever imagine. Presence will give you peace. Because as you have that peace, there's something beautiful that comes out of it. You begin to want the same for others. This is one thing I've noticed. As you have presence and that peace and joy and love, you begin to want the same for others, and you give that love. And once you begin to give that love, oh my goodness, nothing can surpass that. Every day you wake up happy. Every day you wake up full of joy. You wake up looking forward to the day and being grateful and saying, thank you. I'm alive. I woke up. I can stretch and I am ready. Deep thoughts of this is required if you have a chance. Think about it. Write down. Remember the 3 columns. The past, the present, and the future. And write down what it represents to you. That's going to allow you to begin to learn to see where your mind is and how that could affect everything. And once you do, notice everything. Begin to cultivate that love all around you. Because once you do, you become free to the present, with nothing holding you back to the past and nothing pulling you forward to the future, but rather presence is the key to receive and give our one. For it becomes even more to the giver. One thing I would also, in closing, is this. As you practice being present, you may do that with either singing or allowing oneself to embrace something new and not question, I don't normally do this. I hear people say that, I don't normally do this. This is not me. Well, this is right now, this present moment. It's not about the past. And it's not about the future. That is not even here. But being gracious and grateful enough to be present and receive. That is how you learn to be present and have victory oozing out of your heart, because presence has given you a new understanding of how to tackle this journey called life that we are all on. And as we are on, we are growing, we are evolving, we are becoming whole beings because we were created whole already. We were created whole already. Because once that's done, it's powerful. I hope today was helpful. I hope it gave you a new perspective about how to be present and cherish every moment. Cherish your family, your friends, because you don't know tomorrow. You don't know what the future brings. Rather be present with them and create happy, good memories, because excuse me, my throat is getting dry. That is how you begin to lose the gift of presence. Take a little time to enjoy each moment every day and be grateful and thankful that it's been given to you. And ask nothing else in return, but just be the person you need to be. My name is Shroda Aglago. Thank you for joining me on Love, Forgive, Live, where it's a show or a program that encourages, empowers, inspires, and of course motivates. And also, those who wants to write to me, the email address again is LUV as in Victor, the number 4, give GIVE, live LIVE at gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed week. I love you all. My brothers and sisters out there, be safe, be kind, loving, and always at peace. Miadato fafanami. Everyone listening on YouTube, please subscribe and like us. We're on Twitter, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. May it go well for every one of you. And I hope you tune in next week. Thank you again. And have an amazing, amazing week. And don't forget to be present and loving and kind to one another. Bye.